our protagonist transmigrates into the body of a tiny snake. At first, he thinks life will be easy. No responsibilities, no hard work, and no major struggles. But reality turns out to be completely different. Because he's weak, everyone sees him as prey. Whether it's a giant chicken monster, a powerful bear, a wild boar, ruthless humans, or even members of his own kind, everyone tries to take advantage of him. After being hunted, bullied, and constantly fighting for survival, he finally realizes one thing: if he wants freedom, he needs power. So, he begins growing stronger, one step at a time. What starts as a small and helpless snake slowly evolves into something far more terrifying: majestic black dragon. A flying, godlike dragon whose power forces the entire world to bow before him. Well, a snake was crawling through the jungle, terrified and confused. He had heard stories of people transmigrating or being reborn, but never as a snake. With no hands or legs, he had no idea how he was supposed to survive. This snake was our protagonist. While searching for a safe place, he was suddenly chased by a giant chicken monster. He fled for his life, wishing a human would save him, only to remember that he couldn't even speak anymore. Soon, he spotted a woodcutter and rushed toward him, hoping for help. The man, however, laughed at the sight of a tiny snake charging his way and kicked him aside without hesitation. As the hero lay there wondering where everything had gone wrong, the woodcutter suddenly noticed the rainbow chicken behind him and ran off to catch it. Taking advantage of the distraction, the hero escaped. After calming down, he grumbled about being kicked so casually. Just then, a system panel appeared. You have activated the devouring evolution system. The more you eat, the stronger you become. The hero was thrilled. He immediately found an anthill and started hunting ants. After eating his first ant, he gained an evolution point and unlocked the Hercules skill. Realizing how powerful the system was, he spent the entire day devouring ants. By nightfall, he had practically wiped out an entire ant colony. Before sleeping, he briefly convinced himself that it wasn't a crime, then immediately admitted that the logic made no sense. The next morning, he discovered that his Hercules skill had already reached level 3, and his body had grown larger. Excited, he declared that he would become the strongest ruler of the jungle. A system notification soon followed. You are one step closer to becoming the snake god. Encouraged by the message, he continued hunting. Since anthills were everywhere, he had no shortage of prey. After another round of non-stop feeding, he raised Hercules to level 4. His body grew again, and all of his stats increased as well. The system soon announced that the hero had advanced to the second level of his growth stage. Wanting to test his Hercules skill, he decided to attack a tree. The system warned him that stronger trees would cause more pain, but also increase the skill's growth. But the backlash left him rolling on the ground in pain. Even so, the system confirmed that he had successfully unlocked the skill's true potential. Meanwhile, the woodcutter was still searching for the snake, hoping to turn him into soup. Hidden in the grass, the hero overheard everything and immediately added the man to his future revenge list. After the woodcutter left, the hero suddenly felt that someone was watching him. A system notification appeared. Sixth sense activated. Moments later, the culprit revealed itself. The same chicken monster had returned. The hero asked whether he could defeat it now. But the system estimated that he still needed the equivalent of hundreds, or even thousands, more anthills before he would stand a real chance. Unfortunately, the chicken attacked before he could continue training. The hero once again ran for his life. No matter where he went, the monster kept finding him, making him wonder whether it possessed some kind of tracking ability. Eventually, he escaped into a small burrow. The chicken tried to follow him, but smashed into a rock above the entrance and stunned itself. Only then did the hero remember that, unlike the chicken, he could easily survive underground. While the monster stumbled around in confusion, he took the opportunity to resume farming ants. One anthill after another disappeared. After clearing hundreds of nests, his Hercules skill finally reached level 7. His body grew dramatically. His strength and health increased, and his total length reached 5 meters. Soon afterward, another notification appeared. Congratulations, you have advanced to the 3rd growth stage. The system then delivered its final assessment. You are now fully capable of defeating the chicken monster. Now confident in his strength, the hero decided to test Hercules' skill again. He struck a large tree with his tail and split it clean in half. A system notification immediately appeared. Congratulations. You have successfully broken Newton's 3rd law. You will no longer receive reflected damage. Meanwhile, the woodcutter was still searching for the snake, hoping to turn him into stew. Watching from a distance, the hero secretly planned his revenge. But before he could act, the rainbow chicken finally appeared. The hero stepped out and challenged it directly. This time, the fight was completely one-sided. Before the chicken could react, the hero wrapped around it and easily ignored its attacks thanks to Hercules' skill. Moments later, he swallowed the monster whole. The system then rewarded him with his first bloodline evolution point and informed him that 1,000 points would be needed for complete evolution. The hero was immediately disappointed. Only 1 point? At this rate, it'll take forever. The system explained that stronger monsters would provide more bloodline points and eventually allow him to evolve into a true dragon. Before he could think about it further, the ground suddenly began to shake. A gigantic bear came charging toward him. The hero instantly ran for his life and climbed a tree, only to discover that bears could climb trees too. Realizing he had been lied to, he panicked. At that moment, the system reminded him that his body moved extremely fast in water. Without hesitation, he jumped into a nearby river. His speed increased dramatically, allowing him to escape the bear with ease. After putting some distance between them, the system warned him not to wander too far into unknown territories filled with even stronger monsters. Exhausted, the hero rested near the riverbank. Later that night, he stumbled across the same hunter sitting beside a campfire. The man was still talking about turning the snake into stew. Hearing this, the hero finally decided to take revenge. He approached the hunter and attacked, wrapping around his leg and frightening him half to death. The hunter desperately tried to defend himself, but the hero quickly gained the upper hand. Just as he was about to finish the job, the ground shook once again. The giant bear had returned. The hero immediately released the hunter and fled in the opposite direction. The bear continued chasing the hero without pause. What made it even stranger was that it ignored every other monster it encountered and remained completely focused on him. Eventually, the hero reached a cliff. With nowhere else to run, he jumped into the ravine below and crashed into a hidden cave. The fall left him badly injured. Just then, the system announced that he had completed a hidden mission and revealed the existence of a treasure worth hundreds of evolution points. While searching the cave, he discovered a glowing fruit. According to the system, it was a wind attribute fruit that could grant him wind-based abilities. However, before he could enjoy his reward, a giant anaconda appeared and attacked. The hero briefly tried negotiating, suggesting they share the fruit, but the anaconda had no interest in talking. A battle quickly broke out. Using all his strength, the hero eventually overpowered the giant snake and threw it into the ravine below. With the obstacle gone, he immediately consumed the fruit. The reward was even greater than expected. Instead of 500 evolution points, he received 1,000 points and successfully obtained the wind attribute. Excited, he began experimenting with his new power. A simple breath attack unleashed a powerful gust of wind, while further testing unlocked 2 new skills, Wind Slash and Wind Tornado. Unfortunately, after repeatedly using them, the system warned him that excessive energy consumption could leave him completely exhausted. The warning came a little too late. Moments later, all the strength drained from his body and he collapsed. After resting for some time, he crawled outside the cave and spotted a small bird. The moment he swallowed it, his energy instantly recovered. The discovery surprised him. Not only had he gained powerful new abilities, but his recovery speed had also become absurdly fast. Filled with confidence, he immediately thought about challenging the bear again. The system quickly shut that idea down. According to its estimate, the black bear was a Tier 2 monster, while the hero's current strength was only around Tier 1. There was still a significant gap between them. But after gaining a new attribute, 2 powerful skills, and a massive amount of evolution points, the hero wasn't interested in listening. He set out to hunt the bear. After searching the forest for hours, the hero finally found the giant bear hiding inside its den. Confident in his new wind abilities, he immediately attacked with several wind blades. Unfortunately, the attacks barely scratched the bear. In response, the monster lunged forward and pinned him beneath its claws. Forced into a corner, the hero used Wind Tornado to create an opening and escaped. Only then did he admit the truth. The system had been right all along. He still wasn't strong enough to defeat the bear. Unwilling to give up, the hero returned to farming ants. With the help of his wind abilities, clearing anthills became much faster than before. After accumulating enough resources, he upgraded his stats. His physique, strength, and speed all increased significantly, while Hercules' skill reached level 7. At that point, he officially stepped into the level of a second-rank monster. Satisfied with his growth, he returned to challenge the bear once again. This time, he found it sleeping inside its territory. Rather than attacking from behind, he deliberately woke it up and challenged it face to face. The bear accepted immediately. A fierce battle erupted. Unlike before, the hero's greatly increased speed allowed him to dodge the bear's attacks with ease. As the fight dragged on, the bear gradually became exhausted. The hero seized the opportunity, wrapped his body around the monster, and slowly crushed it. In the end, the bear was finally defeated. After devouring his powerful opponent, every one of his stats increased by another 25 points. Feeling stronger than ever, the hero decided to leave his current territory and cross Jinthing Mountain in search of greater opportunities. The next day, he successfully entered a new region. However, the system immediately issued a warning. According to its analysis, even the weakest monsters in this area were generally second-rank or third-rank creatures. The bear he had defeated was actually considered weak compared to the dangers that existed here. The system even pointed out that his victory over the bear wasn't due to overwhelming strength, but because his constriction ability perfectly countered that particular opponent. Hearing that, the hero couldn't help feeling annoyed. Staring at the system, he wondered whether it was supposed to support him or defend the bear. Before long, he encountered a third-tier wild boar. Without wasting time, he attacked with both his tail and wind slash, but neither attack caused any meaningful damage. The boar's defense was far tougher than anything he had faced before. A system analysis quickly revealed that the beast's rear was its weakest point. Before he could fully react, the boar charged forward and tore a deep wound into his body. Using his superior speed, the hero circled behind the monster and unleashed a powerful hammer slash directly at its weak spot. The attack worked perfectly. The boar collapsed in pain, allowing the hero to finish it off with his constriction ability. After killing the monster, he received a large number of evolution points and became even more confident in his future growth. While exploring the area afterward, he discovered a special treasure fruit tree growing beneath a larger tree. The system identified its fruit as vermilion fruit and explained that it could greatly increase his strength once fully matured. Since the fruit still needed time to ripen, the hero decided to remain nearby and guard it. Unfortunately, waiting quickly became boring. While he was counting down the days, a glowing firewolf emerged from a nearby cave. The system immediately warned him that it was a fire-type demon beast capable of using powerful fire attacks. The hero, however, wasn't interested in backing down. A battle quickly broke out. The firewolf launched blazing attacks while surrounding itself with a layer of flames. Meanwhile, the hero relied on his wind abilities and superior mobility to avoid direct contact. Although the wolf initially gained the advantage through its powerful fire aura, maintaining that state consumed a huge amount of energy. As the battle dragged on, the wolf gradually became exhausted. Realizing its disadvantage, it attempted to retreat. The hero wasn't about to let a valuable source of evolution points escape. He immediately chased it down, wrapped around it, and finished it off. The rewards were substantial. The system granted him a large amount of evolution points, along with 2 bloodline evolution points. Unfortunately, hearing the number instantly ruined his mood. After fighting such a powerful opponent, he had expected a much larger reward. The system explained that stronger monsters would provide more bloodline points, meaning the hero would eventually have to challenge far more dangerous opponents if he wanted to evolve. The next day, he continued guarding the treasure fruit tree. Although he was exhausted, he didn't want to risk losing such a valuable opportunity. Fortunately, the system offered to stand watch while he slept. Sometime later, an alarm suddenly woke him up. Standing nearby was a white rabbit wearing what looked like a soldier's uniform. At first, the hero laughed and underestimated it. The system quickly corrected him. This was a third-tier monster. The warning proved accurate almost immediately. The rabbit moved with incredible speed and slammed into a nearby tree so hard that the entire trunk shattered apart. Only then did the hero realize how dangerous it truly was. He attempted to attack from a distance using wind blades, but none of his attacks were effective. Switching to close combat didn't help either, as the rabbit easily countered him and sent him flying. Realizing a direct fight wasn't working, the hero even tried negotiating and suggested splitting the spirit fruits equally. The rabbit's response was another attack. At that point, the hero changed his strategy completely. Instead of fighting, he started running. What followed was a marathon chase that lasted nearly the entire day. Eventually, the rabbit began to tire. Its breathing grew heavier, and its movements gradually slowed. The hero had been waiting for exactly that moment. As soon as the opportunity appeared, he turned around, wrapped himself tightly around the exhausted monster, and finished it off with his constriction ability. The victory rewarded him with 3 bloodline evolution points. However, before he could celebrate, a powerful fragrance suddenly filled the air. One of the spirit fruits had finally ripened. The hero immediately rushed back to the tree and swallowed the fruit whole. The effects were immediate. A tremendous surge of energy spread throughout his body, and the system delivered an even bigger surprise. The fruit granted him 100 bloodline evolution points. Then a new system interface appeared. Please select your evolution path. Several options appeared before him, but one choice stood out above all the others: Immortal Snake Evolution Path. The hero chose the Immortal Snake Evolution Path without hesitation. The system immediately confirmed his selection and warned that the evolution process would begin in 10 seconds. Before he could even find a safe place, a terrifying pain spread through his body. Crimson energy erupted from him and quickly formed a massive shell around him. Moments later, he was completely sealed inside a giant red egg. The system explained that the evolution would take approximately 5 hours, and that he would have to remain inside the egg until the process was complete. Inside the shell, the hero learned that his bloodline attribute had reached 200 points. Unfortunately, he still needed 300 points to achieve a true third-tier breakthrough. Disappointed, he tried breaking out of the egg, only to discover that the shell was incredibly durable. Not long afterward, he heard voices approaching from outside. A group of 4 humans had arrived after tracking the scent of nearby spiritual treasures. The moment they spotted the giant red egg, they realized it was something valuable. Their leader ordered everyone to secure the surrounding spiritual plants first, intending to collect all available resources before dealing with the mysterious egg. However, when they tried moving it, they discovered that the egg was far too heavy. Even all 4 of them together couldn't lift it. While the leader focused on gathering monster materials from the area, 3 of his subordinates began discussing the egg in secret. A blonde-haired boy suggested that, instead of carrying it away, they should simply break it open. According to his theory, a creature undergoing evolution might contain valuable fluids or treasures that could be sold for a fortune. The others hesitated, worried about their leader's reaction, but greed quickly won out. Eventually, they agreed. The blonde-haired boy grabbed a bat and began smashing the shell repeatedly. Despite numerous strikes, the egg remained completely undamaged. Sometime later, their leader returned and immediately exploded with anger after seeing what they were doing. He warned them that making so much noise would attract dangerous monsters from the surrounding forest. Then his expression became serious. According to him, the greatest danger wasn't ordinary monsters at all. If the legendary King Python happened to appear, none of them would survive. The boss coldly revealed that he had known about his subordinates' betrayal from the very beginning. When they realized he intended to kill them, one of the boys grabbed the mysterious egg and threatened to destroy it if the boss came any closer. After a brief standoff, the boss pretended to give in and allowed them to leave. However, before escaping, the boys deliberately dropped a huge boulder onto the egg. The attack accomplished nothing. Inside, the hero discovered that the shell was unbelievably durable and remained completely unharmed. Furious at being tricked, the boss immediately chased after the traitors. Several hours later, he returned carrying all 3 of their proving that none of them had escaped his revenge. From inside the egg, the hero could only wait for his evolution to finish. Soon afterward, the boss picked up the egg and began dragging it away, treating it like a football along the journey. The constant shaking left the hero furious, but there was nothing he could do until the evolution process ended. Finally, the long-awaited system notification appeared: evolution complete. At the same moment, a massive tail burst through the shell and cracks rapidly spread across the entire egg. Within seconds, the giant shell shattered. The boss immediately panicked. Realizing what had emerged from the egg, he desperately tried to convince the hero that he had only been protecting him all this time. Unfortunately, the hero remembered every kick and every attempt to exploit him. The excuses were completely useless. Not long afterward, the boss became another victim of the hero's growth and rewarded him with additional bloodline evolution points. After examining his new body, the hero realized that bloodline evolution strengthened not only his bloodline itself, but also enhanced his overall abilities. While testing his new form, he noticed a wild boar wandering through the forest and constantly making noise. Already in a bad mood, the hero found the creature so irritating that he immediately decided to hunt it. The battle was completely one-sided. The boar quickly became his prey, earning him even more bloodline evolution points. After experiencing the results of his latest evolution, the hero became more confident than ever. In his eyes, even ordinary third-tier monsters no longer seemed threatening. After his latest evolution, the hero was feeling great when he suddenly sensed a powerful presence nearby. Looking up, he was shocked to find an enormous golden python standing before him. The creature was so massive that its head alone was larger than the hero's entire body. Terrified, the hero initially considered running away. Unfortunately, escape wasn't an option. The giant python effortlessly blocked his path and began speaking to him. To the hero's surprise, the monster could communicate just like a human. Fortunately, the golden python showed no hostility. Instead, it explained that monsters of the same race could communicate with one another, especially after reaching higher levels of intelligence and evolution. After a short conversation, the hero learned that the python was a powerful 4th-level monster known as Uncle Jin. Seeing the hero's unusual bloodline, Uncle Jin invited him to join his clan, one of the strongest forces within Jinfeng Mountain. The hero immediately accepted. As they continued their journey, Uncle Jin became curious about the hero's origins and asked about his parents. The hero had never encountered this body's family and quickly realized that presenting himself as an orphan might earn him sympathy and support, so he claimed that he had never known his parents. The answer immediately softened Uncle Jin's attitude. He welcomed the hero into the clan and even promised that it would become his new home. However, there was one condition. The clan's ancestor and clan leader had been seriously injured, and ordinary medicines could no longer help them. Because of the hero's rare immortal bloodline, his essence possessed unique healing properties. The clan hoped he would occasionally provide a small amount of that essence to assist in their recovery. The hero instantly imagined a nightmare scenario where all of his bloodline power would be drained away. Fortunately, Uncle Jin quickly reassured him that only a tiny amount would be needed and that it wouldn't harm him in the slightest. Relieved, the hero finally agreed. Curious about the powerful figures he would be helping, he then asked a simple question. What level are our ancestor and clan leader? The moment Uncle Jin heard that question, his entire expression changed. According to him, the clan ancestor was a legendary 7th-tier supreme expert and the undisputed ruler of the entire New Mist mountain range. The hero, however, wasn't impressed by the title itself. Instead, he was thinking about the benefits. If a 7th-tier powerhouse owes me a favor, I'll basically have the strongest bodyguard in the region. The idea alone made him extremely happy. Soon afterward, Uncle Jin brought him to a massive cave and arranged a place for him to stay. Before leaving, he warned him not to wander too far from the clan's territory and promised that the clan leader would meet him personally once he recovered. A short time later, a dark blue snake arrived and respectfully introduced himself as Zhao, the hero's new personal attendant. The hero immediately asked the most important question on his mind. What benefits do I get here? Zhao patiently explained the structure of the region. The area was controlled by 3 major powers, the Snake Clan, the Ape Clan, and a coalition of smaller clans led by the Tiger Clan. Within the Snake Clan itself, there were multiple branches, and the hero had been given the position of young master within the main branch. More importantly, the benefits were excellent. Every month, he would receive 6 high-grade spiritual fruits, including several bonus rewards personally approved by Uncle Jin. On top of that, food was completely unlimited. The moment he heard those words, the hero felt as if he had reached paradise. Without hesitation, he rushed to the food area and demanded the best meal available. Not long afterward, Zhao returned with a massive deer, which the hero immediately began devouring. While he ate, Zhao revealed another important piece of information. The hero was not the only young master within the clan. Several others existed across the different branches, and even within the main branch there were 2 additional young masters. According to Zhao, the clan elders seemed unusually supportive of the hero, which had already attracted attention. Because of this, the other young masters might become hostile. They could attempt to steal his resources or create problems for him in the future. The hero paused for a moment after hearing that warning. Then a faint smile appeared on his face. So there are internal power struggles here too. Interesting. Rather than feeling worried, he laughed and pointed out that if anyone came to rob him, they would also be bringing valuable resources with them. In his eyes, potential robbers were simply future loot. Not long afterward, he met the clan leader, a powerful black rock python. The elder treated him surprisingly well, allowing the hero to call him grandpa and even rewarding him with 7 high-grade spiritual apples instead of the 6 he had originally been promised. Over the following month, the hero regularly provided a small amount of his immortal snake essence to help heal the clan leader's injuries. As a result, the elder became even more fond of him. The clan leader personally promised that if multiple high-level monsters ever tried to harm him, he would intervene and protect him himself. Naturally, the hero was thrilled to gain such a powerful supporter. After returning home, he immediately devoured all 7 spiritual apples. The rewards were substantial. Every major stat increased by 35 points, further boosting his overall strength. Soon afterward, however, trouble arrived. Zhao suddenly rushed over with a panicked expression and reported that their residence had been surrounded. When the hero stepped outside, he found a large group of snake monsters waiting for him. Their target was obvious. They wanted his spiritual fruits. Leading the group was the second young master, who demanded 2 fruits as a so-called protection fee. According to him, refusing would result in the hero losing everything. Before the situation could escalate further, the first young master also arrived. Rather than helping, he immediately sided with the second young master. The two openly discussed dividing the hero's resources between themselves and demanded that he hand over everything he owned. They even claimed he had no right to possess so many rewards in the first place. Meanwhile, Zhao was terrified. Faced with two influential young masters and a crowd of supporters, he believed the situation had already become hopeless. Seeing the overwhelming number of enemies, Zhao immediately urged the hero to escape through a secret route. The hero, however, showed no intention of running. Unlike before, when he constantly fled from stronger opponents, he was now completely confident in his own strength. As he scanned the crowd, he carefully analyzed every monster present, estimating how many rewards each one could provide if defeated. The more he looked, the bigger his smile became. To him, these enemies weren't a threat. They were walking resources. Releasing a wave of dark energy, he openly declared that everyone standing before him had already become his prey. He even ordered Zhao to record the identities of everyone present, warning that nobody would be allowed to walk away without paying a price. His arrogance immediately stunned the crowd. The second young master, convinced that the hero had completely lost his mind, stepped forward with a cold smile. After activating his crystal power, he challenged the hero directly. In his eyes, a newly advanced monster had no right to act so arrogantly in front of dozens of third-level opponents. The confrontation between the two sides was finally about to begin. The hero answered with a Hercules-enhanced tail strike. The powerful blow shattered part of the crystal armor and immediately put the second young master at a disadvantage. Meanwhile, Zhao finished recording the identities of everyone present and jokingly informed the hero that the tax list had already been prepared. The battle quickly turned one-sided. Several snakes were beaten so badly that they surrendered on the spot and begged for mercy. The hero ultimately spared them, but not before leaving them with a small reminder of who had won. Watching their allies collapse one after another, the two young masters finally decided to join forces. The second young master planned to use poison to restrict the hero's movement, while the first young master attacked with thunder-based techniques. Together, they launched a coordinated assault. To their shock, the hero remained almost completely unharmed. His Hercules' divine skill provided extraordinary defense, allowing him to resist even the highly corrosive poison that had defeated countless opponents in the past. Before either brother could recover from their surprise, the hero counterattacked. A few powerful strikes were enough to injure both young masters and send them crashing to the ground. With victory secured, the hero announced a new rule. Every snake present would have to pay him a monthly spirit fruit tax. As for the two young masters, their punishment would be even harsher. Since they had personally challenged him, each of them would owe 2 spirit fruits every month. Although both brothers tried blaming each other for the situation, the hero didn't care. His decision was final. Having no other choice, they reluctantly accepted his terms. Just as everything seemed settled, the atmosphere suddenly changed. Dark clouds gathered overhead, and a massive python slowly descended from the sky. The moment it appeared, every snake in the area lowered its head respectfully, making it obvious that an important figure had arrived. A powerful elder from the main peak soon arrived to distribute the clan's monthly spirit fruit rewards. Seeing an opportunity, the two defeated young masters immediately began complaining, accusing the hero of bullying everyone and stealing their resources. The elder approached with an intimidating expression, clearly intending to interfere. The hero, however, showed no respect whatsoever and openly challenged his authority, arguing that disputes between juniors should not involve clan elders. The situation quickly became tense. Just as the elder was about to act, a powerful aura suddenly descended upon the area. Uncle Jin had arrived. Without hesitation, he defended the hero and reprimanded the elder for interfering in matters between younger clan members. Realizing he had offended someone far above his status, the elder immediately backed down and left. With Uncle Jin's support now publicly displayed, the surrounding snakes became even more cautious around the hero. After the incident, Uncle Jin collected a small amount of the hero's immortal essence and handed him a healing elixir that had been sent by the clan ancestor. The hero consumed it immediately. To everyone's surprise, all of his injuries vanished almost instantly, demonstrating the extraordinary vitality of his bloodline. Not long afterward, Zhao brought him another meal. While eating, the hero discovered that he had already reached level 4, although his body size had not increased as much as he expected. Several days later, a new problem appeared. His appetite had grown dramatically. The amount of food he previously consumed was no longer enough to satisfy him. Seeing this, Zhao reminded him that he still possessed a large number of elixirs and spiritual herbs. If necessary, Those resources could be exchanged for additional food and cultivation materials. Hearing this, the hero quickly did the math. He still needed hundreds of bloodline evolution points for his next evolution, and suddenly realized that enough resources could potentially help him advance much faster. Excited by the possibility, he immediately exchanged all of his spiritual herbs for food and cultivation resources. However, after consuming everything, he still wasn't satisfied. Soon, a dangerous idea appeared in his mind. Since robbing his own snake clan wasn't an option, why not collect protection fees from neighboring tribes instead? When Zhao heard the proposal, he was so shocked that he nearly fainted. Not long afterward, the hero secretly set out toward the Tiger Clan's territory. Along the way, Uncle Jin intercepted him and quickly figured out what he was planning. Although he strongly suspected the hero was simply looking for an excuse to extort resources, he ultimately allowed the trip and officially assigned him responsibility for guarding the border region. Soon afterward, they arrived at the Tiger Clan's territory. The Tiger Elder immediately accused the Snake Clan of cheating by sending such a powerful snake to compete against their younger generation. The hero quickly argued that he was still only a 5-month-old second-tier beast. After some negotiation, both sides agreed to a competition. 10 rounds would be held, with spirit fruits awarded to the winners. The first tiger cub entered the arena confidently. Within moments, the hero defeated it. The same thing happened to the fire tiger and the thunder tiger that followed. One after another, the young tigers were completely overwhelmed. Seeing how easily he was winning, the hero even mocked the remaining challengers and invited them to attack together. However, just when the battle seemed finished, a powerful black tiger suddenly rushed forward. The ghost tiger initially shocked everyone by damaging the hero's scales with its powerful bite. However, the hero quickly turned the situation around. Using his superior strength, he restrained the tiger and forced it into submission. Seeing that their strongest young fighter had already lost, the Tiger Elder immediately surrendered and forfeited the remaining matches. The hero accepted the victory, but wasn't satisfied with only the agreed rewards. Instead, he used the ghost tiger's life as leverage and demanded an additional 500 spiritual fruits. Although the Tiger Clan was furious, they ultimately had no choice but to accept his terms. Even Uncle Jin couldn't help thinking to himself, how can this kid be this ruthless? What kind of monster did I bring into our clan? I just hope he doesn't become our problem one day. After collecting the fruits, the hero consumed both the rewards and several beast materials, causing his strength and evolution progress to increase significantly. Unfortunately, when Zhao brought him another meal a short time later, he ate that too. His appetite had already become terrifying. After finishing everything, he made another request. From now on, I want 3 4th-tier beast materials every single day. Hearing that, Zhao almost turned into a statue. Meanwhile, after consuming so many spiritual fruits, the hero's strength increased dramatically. Every one of his stats received a huge boost. Even so, he still muttered to himself, I should keep a low profile for a while. Sometime later, Uncle Jin delivered the hero's essence to the clan elder. Even his essence became much more powerful. When the Snake Clan elder later consumed that essence, several of his injuries healed instantly. Realizing how valuable the hero's growth had become, the elder concluded that his own recovery would be completed much sooner than expected. Meanwhile, news of the Snake Clan's injured elder continued spreading through human territory. Believing this was the perfect opportunity, several human forces began discussing a large-scale attack against the Snake Clan. At the same time, the Tiger Clan refused to accept their humiliation. They joined forces with the Ape Clan and organized another challenge specifically targeting the hero. When Zhao rushed over to warn him, the hero's first concern wasn't the danger itself, but whether the challengers had brought any spirit fruits as rewards. Soon afterward, both sides gathered once again, setting the stage for another major confrontation. They proposed an extreme challenge. The hero would fight 9 opponents alone in exchange for 900 spirit fruits. Despite Uncle Jin's objections, the hero immediately accepted after seeing the rewards. The battle ended exactly as expected. One after another, all 9 challengers were defeated. Enraged by the loss, the Tiger King and Ape King personally attacked. The Tiger King and Ape King were completely enraged. They immediately charged toward the hero, determined to kill him. The hero was busy doing something else entirely. He was eating the 900 spirit fruits. Even the Ape King couldn't believe it. You're about to die, and you're still thinking about food? The Ape King landed a powerful punch. At the critical moment, the Blackrock Python King finally made his appearance. His furious roar shook the entire battlefield. How dare you attack my grandson? Without hesitation, he threw the injured hero toward Uncle Jin and personally began fighting the 2 kings. Uncle Jin was completely panicked. "My nephew, you'll be all right." But the hero remained surprisingly calm. "Uncle, stop worrying. Just give me something to eat." Although the request sounded ridiculous, Uncle Jin immediately fed him several pieces of beast meat. And to everyone's shock, the hero's wounds began healing at a visible speed. Even damaged bones were covered completely. Seeing this, Uncle Jin finally understood why everyone called him the Immortal Python. However, before anyone could celebrate, a far greater disaster arrived. The human army finally launched its attack. Countless flaming meteors rained down from the mountains, turning the entire battlefield into chaos. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, Uncle Jin immediately ordered the hero to retreat to the clan's treasure hall. The hall contained the clan's entire reserve of spirit fruits and spiritual herbs. His mission was simple: eat everything before the humans could get their hands on it. Outside, the war intensified. Explosions shook the mountains while cracks spread across the walls of the hall. At the same time, the hero could feel a powerful transformation approaching. His dragon bloodline was finally awakening. Dark scales began covering his body. Unbearable pain spread through every part of him as an enormous amount of energy erupted outward. It felt as though his entire body was being rebuilt from the ground up. Meanwhile, the human forces gradually gained the upper hand on the battlefield. Then, suddenly, a terrifying roar echoed throughout the mountain range. Every beast instantly lowered its head. Even the humans froze. The human captain slowly drew his weapon and stared toward the collapsing mountain. It seems an ancient dragon has been hiding here all along. In the next moment, the entire mountain exploded apart. And from within the shattered peak, a colossal black dragon emerged. Every human mage and warrior unleashed their strongest attacks at him. A massive explosion engulfed the battlefield. Everyone believed the dragon had been defeated. But when the smoke cleared, the black dragon stood completely unharmed. Not even a single scale was damaged. The hero scratched his head and laughed. "That's it? All of you attacking together couldn't even hurt me. Still, thanks for the free body massage." The humans were completely stunned. "My heaven-splitting blade technique can cut mountains apart. How did it fail to leave even a scratch? What kind of monster is this?" Before anyone could recover from the shock, the black dragon rushed toward the human captain. The captain was holding a valuable spirit orb, but the dragon casually snatched it away and swallowed it whole. After letting out a satisfied burp, he made an announcement. "You have two choices. Leave all your treasures behind and walk away alive, or stay here and die." As he spoke, he even started chewing on the human's spiritual equipment and absorbing the spiritual energy inside them. The human captain immediately panicked. "This dragon is insane. He's trying to rob all of us." The black dragon's expression turned cold.
"I'm not joking. Drop everything and leave. And remember, I'm still hungry."
The humans instantly lost their courage. One after another, they threw down their space rings, treasures, and equipment before fleeing in terror. The dragon happily inspected his newly acquired loot. However, he soon noticed that one human was still attacking and killing snakes while retreating. His face darkened immediately. "I already gave you a chance, but you chose to waste it. Now you'll pay the price." The black dragon charged a dragon breath and released it. A devastating explosion erupted across the battlefield, nearly wiping out the entire area. After the battle ended, members of the Tiger Clan, Ape Clan, and countless other beasts gathered before the black dragon. Every one of them bowed their heads as if worshipping a god. At that moment, Uncle Jin stepped forward with tears in his eyes. "Great Dragon Lord, you came from the mountain where our treasure hall was located. Did you happen to see our young master, my nephew with the immortal bloodline? Is he still alive?" The black dragon suddenly laughed. "Uncle, are you really scared of me? I'm your nephew." Hearing that, Uncle Jin froze in shock. He could hardly believe his ears. "You're my nephew? Then how did you become a black dragon?" The hero shrugged casually. "Wasn't it your idea? You told me to eat everything inside the treasure hall, so I did. I ate all the treasures, evolved, and became a black dragon." At that moment, the Snake King stepped forward and respectfully lowered his head. "Great Dragon Lord, you are the pride of our Hmong clan. From today onward, our entire clan is willing to serve under your command." The dragon nodded calmly. "That's fine. I'll protect everyone." Then he paused for a moment before adding, "But protection isn't free. Everyone will have to pay protection fees, and all injured beasts can receive some of my healing dragon essence. You can charge them for it and bring the payment to me. I need a lot of spiritual fruits, and even more food, so don't be stingy." The moment those words left his mouth, everyone nearly collapsed. Even after becoming a legendary black dragon, the first thing on his mind was still money and food. Meanwhile, Uncle Jin held his head in frustration. Seriously, what kind of monster did I bring into our clan? And with that, the story finally comes to an end. Unfortunately, there is currently no next part available. Personally, I found this story quite unique, ridiculous, and surprisingly entertaining. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you'd like more stories like this, be sure to check out the other videos as well. Until next time, thanks for watching.